Hello, today I will introduce two-photon absorption. So what is two-photon absorption? It is the absorption of two photons of identical or different frequencies in order to excite one molecule from one state. Usually this is the ground state to a higher energy electronic state. So now I will use one photon and two photon to compare and help us understand this better. So firstly, this is one photon excitation. We can see the electron is excited from the ground state to the excitation state, and after some energy loss, the electron will give the energy by the fluorescence, like this green line. So what is two photon? Two photon, we use two photon to excite the same electron, so that the electron can jump from the ground state to the excitation state, and then it will go back to the ground state, give the same fluorescence with the same energy. So during this time, firstly, the electron is excited by one photon to jump into this virtual state, and then after that, the electron will excited by another photon, so that it can jump to the excited state. So we know the time for one photon is final. So if we want to excite this electron before it jump back to the ground state, the time should be less than 1 femtosecond. And this is a graph of two photon and one photon. We can see for two photon it is a very small point, but for one photon it is a very wide line. I will introduce this later. So this is the typical structure. The most important features of a strongly two-photon absorption molecules were found to be a long conjunction system and a substitution by strong donor and acceptor groups. This is being thought of. It can be thought of as inducing nonlinearity in the system and increase the potential of charge transfer. Therefore, many push and pull structures exhibit high two-photon excitation transition. So what can we do with the two-photon absorption? We can use this in microfabrication, lithography, three-dimensional photopolymerization, imaging, photodynamic therapy, and optical power limit. Now I will use imaging as an example to introduce this. From the first graph, as I introduced before, we can see this line is from one photon. It gives us a very wide line, but this small point is from two photons. This means the two photons can just focus on a very small point. So this two photons can give us a very high resolution graph, like this graph. From this graph we can see some very basic cell structures like this. At the same time, because the two photons can focus on different layers, so we can use these layers to scan, and after scan different layers, we can reconstruct this to get a three-dimensional structure. Like this graph, we can get the structures from different layers, so that we can know which part is more important than other parts, and what we can get from these parts. So this is two-photon absorption. It is a very new and an important field.